Hello, greetings. I am Gilles Mansillon. I'm here to continue with the reading of my book as a preview. It is called Beyond the Veils of Illusion. I am chapter 10. We are not yet aware of spiritual sciences, but they are well known and recognized in the higher realms of the universe, and they are perceived to be very real and serious, and most often used and employed to seek out or find a scientific information when the need appears. In the more advanced world and societies, spirituality and science are intimately interconnected, that which is obviously not yet the case in our planet. Science and technology are extremely variable and change from station to station, from planet to planet, but they inevitably evolve through time from the material to the spiritual, although yet Although yet unknown, the spiritual sciences are the most direct, the most intelligent, and the most practical avenue to find or to discover the solution to any scientific problem. But the earth scientific community of our times have not yet arrived at that point where they could even approach such understanding, because of that we are yet unable to enjoy such a knowledge, and so our present day understanding in our world, the world we live in, is extremely limited when it comes to the true natures of things and beings. I'm sorry, the translation's a bit rough. Extremely limited when it comes to realizing of the true nature of things and beings. Our scientific instruments and technologies are still primitive, and most of them are also toxic to our physical bodies and environment, even if we are for the most part unaware of it. As far as the human population is concerned, we can say that we have been educated in school by our parents, and we have received some knowledge that is some sort of synthesis of the experience of the past generation, and that is what we call genetic knowledge. In truth, this knowledge is very practical, but seems to be this knowledge is very partial, but it seems to be essential to function within society. We are arriving at the point where it is going to become possible and necessary to push the limitation that has been self-determined, that because we have reached the end of a cycle of evolution in duality, in order to enter into a cycle of evolution within the unity of the divine light. Only an import of higher dimensional light will allow us to evolve in our consciousness and to increase the intelligence level of the collective, that which will serve in advancing to the next step or level that will be our collective ascension. Ascension will mark the end of duality and of separation, the end of time. The end of time will also be the starting point to a great new adventure for all of us, if we choose to participate in it. All human beings are invited, and soon humanity will feel an elevation in intelligence and sensitivity, a powerful opening towards the light of the higher dimensions. This phenomenon will be more or less conscious depending on the state of mind of each person and relative to the sensibility that they possess. Art, science, and philosophy are essential domains that makes up our culture, and that which allow us to evolve as society will soon have to upgrade and transform, in our belief system, so that we may function more harmoniously together. It is only when the higher vibration of light and love will be integrated and put into practice that each and every one of us, through a change of behavior and the goal will be reached, and that the collective ascension will become possible. Awaiting that time, it seems that only the initiated will be able or capable to travel upward on the cosmic scale to enjoy the higher dimensions. When we realize the spiritual path, we are then able to develop our psychic ability and psychic powers and extrasensory abilities. We are then able to augment considerably the quality of our life. which moves from the temporal to the eternal. To be able to develop such a spiritual gift, we will have deep effect on the way we perceive life, and will give us an altogether different perception of reality. The light that inundates the earth at present is a powerful catalyst that will help us in regard to re-establishing the connection to our own divinity, that which is easily recognizable now at any time within ourselves. Those abilities, those spiritual powers, those gifts from the universe, and will manifest slowly but surely in our life once we choose to embrace the way of the light, of lucidity by practicing each and every day unconditional love and compassion. Unconditional love is the only true energetic liaison or emotional vibration that connects us to the source in a vital way. All other forms of thoughts or emotions are only derivative of conditional love or fear, which is the definition of the absence of love. The creator of all lives and exists in a sphere of reality that is unique and exclusive, where all states of reality are perceived as different vibrations of himself or herself. Those states are emerging, contracting, and opposing themselves to become harmonized and to become a dynamic sphere of unlimited power, incommensurable energy, an eternal action, a reality without beginning or ending, and without limit of any kind. We must understand that the creator of all has no need of any kind, if only to reveal himself or herself and to evolve without cease through the little individualized souls who live their life in the universe of time and space. He or she must then be eternally conscious of his or her creation, so that they may evolve and return to him or to her eventually. I need to note on that subject that when I use the term God or Creator, I always refer to the Prime Creator, origin and source of all beings and all things, God without limit and all-powerful. This great Creator is also known as the Almighty Supreme in the universe of universes, beyond the borders of paradise. This great Creator lives within each and every life form, each and all form and reality, from the most impure to the most pure, from the most agitated to the most serene. In the moment of the eternal present, which he or she shares with all beings in all universe, whether they are material or spiritual. God must exist in all states, and all states are invariably part of the divine experience. Only those who have been able to test this experience may conceive, comprehend, or understand that reality, even only in a fragmentary way or relative in relation to the absolute or total expression. It is then imperative and urgent to learn to make room within our heart to receive that mighty presence of the Source within our life. We must learn to live within it, because once we have tasted the supreme nectar of life that proceeds from the union and communion between our sacred heart and the heart of the Creator, nothing else will be able to satisfy us, and we will then understand that this divine connection is not only vital but also the only one that is truly essential. Once we are able to test the divine reality, life in the universe of the Creator, then the experience will ever be imprinted into our consciousness, and we'll never be able to forget it. We only need one moment to discover God and the eternal truth, this point of contact or this potential of eternity, available to all beings without exception. You have noted that when I speak of God, I sometimes use the term he or sometimes the term she. It is because the divine source is just as masculine as it is feminine. It is no more masculine than it is feminine. If you see God as feminine, she will be feminine. If you see God as masculine, he will be masculine. In our patriarchal society, we have been taught to think of God in an anthropomorphic fashion, as an old and wise man with a beard that appears in the sky to judge and chastise men, that he then treats as inferior creature, when in truth God is only love, the expression of infinite will and wisdom, and he or she is beyond all femininity and all masculinity, but embrace all states and all forms as well. The first source and center is also the only person who is truly independent of all others, while giving and providing the experience of existence to all in all dimension and all level of reality. God is also the only being who is real in an absolute sense of the term. And if we are also eternal and infinite in potential, it is because God himself has created us perfectly and divinely equal to himself or herself. All that exists is invariably part and included within the life of God and eternally interconnected to all that is. Nothing exists outside of God. Right now, God exists in the universe of universes as the Almighty Supreme, but we will later discover higher level of divinity after all universes of time and spaces will have achieved their mission of evolution, once they have completed their integration into the light, when they will have progressed into the level of supremacy. In truth, the creator of all beings and all things has no form and no aspect. It manifests in the Sacred Heart as a form of a triple sacred flame essence beyond all representation and all description. No explanation or discourse can ever reveal God, because he or she is not only an exclusive and unique reality, but also is inclusive of all others. We will eventually learn that we are ourselves the God we are looking for. All is depending at any time on our attitude and ability to live and act in the perfection of our true self and to align our own will with that of the Creator, which is the manifestation of supreme divine love. Notwithstanding the beliefs and teachings that have been promulgated in the illusion, we are all divine and eternal creator beings, having temporal experiences. Know that there is no one in the universe that is superior or inferior to you. We are all one. As all the hierarchies have been created by the families of power and by the elite to control and manipulate your consciousness so that you may accept to believe that they may be superior to you, and so that you may give them your power, you give your power away to them. In truth, we are equal and all are one, and we already are sovereign within the inner planes of the higher dimension within ourselves, where our soul resides. Even a very small light is capable of dissipating the obscurity in a dark room. And it is the same within our consciousness. Darkness can never prevent the light from shining. No negative force can ever touch the light, or the darkness can only create illusionary and temporary shadows without ever being able to bring true substance to our experience. If only lessons and education. Although God is all-powerful and fully conscious of all our thoughts, our words and deeds, of all beings, our eternal Creator will not impose His own will upon us and will never seek to make a choice for us, whether that choice may be bright and light or dark and confused. If the Creator does not impose His or her presence on anyone, it is not because he or she cannot do it. It is because he or she made the choice to let us determine for ourselves the direction of our lives, and so to let us be free to live our life according to our own will, principles, and choices. He or she does not force anyone to love, but must be happy to know when he or she is welcome within our heart and within our consciousness to share with us the numerous virtues and attributes of divinity that are emerging from within us once we are awakened to his or her presence, and that stays dormant within us if we choose to ignore that connection and to live our life exclusively outside of ourselves in the illusion of duality through our ego. Each day marks the beginning of a new adventure and a new story for us and for our planet, both internally and externally. in the weeks, months, years to come, you will see great change, and those new energies will also be available for those who wish to join along the way those new potential. I'm sorry, and it will be available along the way to join such potentials. This new light that is emerging from within the heart will allow us to review our karma, all our attitudes, our ideas and emotions, so that we may transmit them and let go of all that no longer serves us for our highest good and the highest good of all. We are about to let go of all that is discordant within ourselves and all that is no longer in harmony with our new life within the light. We will be able, I'm sorry, I don't know what, sometimes there's some pollution out there, sometimes it irritates my eyes, I'm sorry. We will be able to eliminate with grace and ease all that prevents us from loving unconditionally and in the life of joy, peace and happiness, if such is our choice. The present-day economical crisis is forcing many people to review their position in relationship to money. Some people are well able to control their money, while many others are being controlled by money. Our present-day economical system is corrupted and is destined to disappear. That system is about to collapse, and so the problem is not to fix it, but to introduce a new one that is now ready to be introduced. In the future, money and power will go to the compassionate. The responsibility to govern will be soon given to the people and no longer in the hands of some elites that are utilizing the power of money to control the world and to keep it in darkness, and so to have and who have no interest in the collective well-being. If we wish to free ourselves from material need, we need to open the doors of abundance within ourselves and to allow the positive energy to inundate all aspects of our life. The higher flows of energies are love, light, power. Love, light, power flows, and the lower flows are money and sexuality and physical energy. It is never the fault of source if our flows are inactivated or if there is blockage that prevents us from experiencing abundance. When we stop fighting against the flow of our own creation, we can let the current take us and move into the higher energetics and the divine energy that we already are. We will then see that the river of joy, we will then see that this river of joy that takes us towards an ocean of divine love and into realities that are far beyond our dreams and desires. After the river arrives at the ocean, all stops and we become one with the one at the 0 point. It's the end of chapter 10. Thank you.